So hey guys, and welcome to the video. Seeing as it is almost race week, I decided to make this video. The driver who I'm going to be making this video about is my personal favourite driver and rising star, George Russell. I hope to see him do well and maybe even score points instead of doing an Ericsson hit us like he did this time last year. Anyways, let's get into it. So one day, Lewis Hamilton, the 7-time world champion, coughed twice. He shuffled over to the COVID testing centre and took a test. And guess what? It came back positive. This means he couldn't race in Sakhir GP later that weekend. This put his team boss, Toto Wolff, in a predicament. He didn't have a driver and there were two people waiting in the wings to take that lucrative seat. George Russell, the driver of the slowest car on the F1 grid, and Stoffel van Dorn, an ex-F1 driver and the professional kettle driver of the year. Now shockingly, he chose George Russell. And in today's video we will talk about why Toto chose him and George's career up until now. George William Russell was born in Kings Lynn, Norfolk, to father Steve and mother Alison, the youngest alongside two other siblings, a sister named Cara and an older brother named Benji. Russell took up karting at the age of 7, having spent much of his time around his brother Benji, who was also involved in competitive karting. Russell was educated in Wisbech Grammar School. So let's have a look at his junior career then, shall we? Russell began karting in 2006, and to keep the vid short, let's just say that he won a lot. No, seriously, I could make a whole separate video naming the many championships he won, and it would be about 2 hours long. In 2014, Russell made his single-seater debut, racing in the Formula Renault 2.0 Alps Championship. Despite missing around through illness, he finished 4th in the championship, taking a single podium finish at the Red Bull Ring. In 2014, Russell also competed in the BRDC Formula 4 Championships with defending champions Lannon Racing. He entered the final race of the season at Snetterton in a 4-way battle with teammate Arjun Maini and the HHC Motorsport pairing of Shannon Fielding and Raoul Hyman, two drivers who personally I've never heard of. After starting from pole position, Russell won the race, his 5th of the season, to clinch the title by just 3 points from Maini. In December 2014, Russell became the youngest ever winner of the prestigious McLaren Autosport BRDC award, beating fellow finalist Alexander Albon to earn himself $100,000 and a British Racing Drivers Club membership and a Formula 1 test with McLaren. Russell graduated to Formula 3 in 2015, racing in the FIA European Formula 3 Championship with Carlin. He took his first race victory in the opening round at Silverstone, beating fellow debutants Charles Leclerc and Italian Jesus himself. He took a further 2 podiums at Spa-Francorchamps and the Norris Ring to finish 6th in the championship in his debut season. Russell switched to high-tech GP for the 2016 season, scored 2 victories and finished 3rd in the standings. Russell signed with ART Grand Prix for the 2017 GP3 Series season. He had previously driven for the team at the post-season test at Yas Marina in November in 2016. Russell made a solid start to the season at Barcelona, where he finished the weekend in 4th and 5th. The next race at Red Bull Ring saw him take his maiden pole position and victory in the GP3 series. Russell scored back-to-back pole positions at his home race at Silverstone before converting this into another victory at the first race of the weekend and taking 4th position in the second race, on his way to taking the championship lead. Russell had taken 4 victories, 3 pole positions and a further 5 podiums to put him in a position to seal the championship at Jerez, with a complete round of the championship still to run at Yas Marina. Russell won the 2017 GP3 series after taking the 4th position in race 2, giving him an unassailable lead in the championship standings. In January 2018, Russell was confirmed as a driver for ART GP in the 2018 Formula 2 Championship, which would see the new Dallara F2 2018 chassis make its debut in the 12-race calendar. He was also confirmed as a Mercedes reserve driver, sharing duties with Pascal Wehrlein the following month. Russell qualified in 2nd at Bahrain in his debut, but finished 5th in the race. In Baku, for the second round of the championship, Russell led the majority of the feature race before a late safety car caused drama at the restart, denying him a maiden victory in the series. Now, where have I seen this before? Coming through from the back of the pack in the sprint race, Russell set the fastest lap on the way to taking victory from 12th on the grid. Russell took his 2nd victory of the season at Barcelona after prevailing in a duel with Nick de Vries. In Monaco, Russell spent both races outside of the points. Russell hit back in France at the most boring track of all existence, taking his maiden pole position in Formula 2. He read the race with changing conditions from the lights to flag and took his third victory of the season and the championship. He would later go on to win the title with victory at the feature race in Abu Dhabi after a long fight with fellow Brit and our meme lord Lando Norris. So to be honest, our boy over here has won a lot of stuff in his junior career, so you would think that he would sign for a top team in F1 straight away, right? Well, in 2018 it was announced that he would drive for Williams in 2019. Obviously, it was the slowest car of the field, so after a long season of trundling at the back in the two-pace mobile the 2019 Williams was, he ended up last in the standings. So in 2020, Williams made a slightly better, but still pretty bad, car. And this is where George really started to shine. He made it into Q2 several times in a severely underpowered car. At this time, people started noticing that he had never been outqualified by his teammates Latifi or Kubica ever. So people gave him his nickname Mr. Saturday because he always beat his teammate. But along with all this good success, he also made some mistakes along the way. You see, the thing is, up until this point, Russell had not scored any points at all in his F1 career. At Imola during a safety car period, Russell spun his car into a wall while riding over a bump. I've seen all the footage a lot, and I'm pretty sure that Ericsson hit him. This mistake cost him his first ever points. And at the Tuscan GP, after a million race restarts and red flags, Russell got a poor start and Seb Vettel driving his Scuderia tractor overtook him, costing him his first points ever. Now this brings us to the Sakhir GP, where like I said at the start, Hamilton got COVID and Mercedes team boss Toto Wolff chose George Russell to drive for the team at the weekend. Now you would think that a person driving the slowest car on the grid, driving a car he basically had no time to get used to and that he couldn't even fit in, wouldn't do too well. Well, so despite all this, he rocked up to the Sakhir GP in his Mercedes gear. A lot of people on the grid, such as Charles Leclerc and Lando Norris, both said that he could win the race or get pole position easily, and guess what he does? He tops 2 of the 3 qualifying sessions and misses out on a career first pole position by 0.026 seconds versus a teammate that has years more experience in that car. Now you guys might not know, but that is pretty unusual. So people were expecting big things from George Russell in this race, and guess what he does? Well, to be honest, you could probably guess. So as soon as the race starts, Russell sends it into turn 1, sending him into the lead. He was already ahead by quite a margin before Leclerc drove his tractor into Perez. This caused a safety car which bunched up the cars before they would go off again. This was another challenge where any other driver would have cracked under pressure and let slip the lead. But Russell shot off into the distance, and for most of the race Russell was leading. But then his replacement at Williams, driving his old car, Jack Aitken, had a good old meeting with our friend the Barry R. This brought out another safety car which caused Mercedes to pit both drivers. This was a standard operation that most pit crews could pull off with ease, and it was proved that Mercedes can easily do this. And at first everything looked alright, until they noticed that they had put on Valtteri's tyres onto George's car, which isn't allowed if you couldn't figure that one out. So they had to call in George for another stop, demoting him from the lead and keeping Valtteri's old tyres on his car. What happened next was amazing. Everyone watching thought that even a chance for a podium would be close to impossible, but he cut through the field like a hot knife through butter, or like Mazepin through turn 3 at Bahrain. He was up into second place and he was chasing down Perez, who happened to be in first after being last at the start of the race. He was bearing down on the Mexican when Bono, George's race engineer, called into him saying that he had a puncture. George couldn't believe this as he would have to pit again, losing him precious time and demoting him from second to even outside the points. The damage had been done. Although George got up into 9th and got the fastest lap, giving him his first ever points, he couldn't get a podium and luck was just not on his side. But what was on his side was the fact that he had convincingly and utterly destroyed his teammate who had years more experience in that Mercedes car. And after this, many people believed that Bottas's career was over. This amazing performance showed Russell's spectacular pace and maturity to the F1 community more publicly than ever before. Many people now speculate that if any of the Mercedes drivers leave the team, then George Russell will be the first in line to get that seat. Anyways, let's answer the question in the title. Will George Russell become the next Lewis Hamilton? Probably. What makes me say this is that you can never guarantee the future, but my guess is that if Mercedes are as dominant as they were in the past and everything goes well for George like it did for Lewis, then it's almost a certainty. Well, that's the end of the video. Anyways, thanks for watching the whole video, and this is my first time making a vid like this, and it's taken me days and tons of effort to get this done. So if there's anything I can improve on or be better at, etc., don't hesitate to comment down below with your opinions. You'll only get better from here. A like would be massively appreciated. I'm planning to do some more videos like this in the next couple of weeks, so subscribe if you don't want to miss any of it. My Twitter is linked below, and I always tweet when the next video is going to drop, so follow me on there if you haven't already. Anyways, that's it for today. See you next time.